You can put in your username and or your email, but everyone has been assigned a username. So I'm going to go ahead and start by logging in. And this is all demo information, just to be aware. So there may not be a lot of information to see, so to speak, but you'll be able to see the different screens that are available. So you click in, log in. Let me see the password.
And Don, did you press the record button?
Oh,
And
sorry.
or let that's okay. Yeah, and let everybody know this is being recorded.
I did, Sean.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Mike. And oh, yes. And this is being recorded just for our training purposes. Thanks for doing it, Porto.
You're welcome. Nick, can you turn your camera off, please? Thank you.
Okay. Logging in now. So what happens first? You log in and you're presented with the the advisor dashboard in Orion Connect. Now it'll say, you'll notice here it says hello demo because we're in a demo user, but it will have your name and it says what's happening with your business today. Then you're presented with this default dashboard with cards, and these cards will show you snapshots of your business. Right now, we only have one client in here. As you can see, the household is Homer and Marge Simpson. They have a market value of $150,000. But here in this first card, AUM summary, this would give you a summary of your AUM for your business. Right now, you'll see here it says managed. You only have 150,000. That's just because we have this one household for uh, the Simpsons. The next card will show all your households, and I believe it will show the top 10 households. And then there will be one other. It will actually say other at the bottom that will sum up the rest of your households and give you a percentage of how much in each household. So if we had two households here, this would be 50% here and 50% in the next household. The next tile here is the asset class allocation. And, and it just shows, by asset class where your assets are currently invested. And there's other tiles here that give you more information about your book of business, asset allocation, whether it's equity. In this case, it's all equity. But if you had, some bond, it would show bond and then money market as well. Different types of transactions will be shown here. And model summary, again, this account is a new account, so it's 100% in cash. But if this account was assigned to a model, say, the Hanlon Tactical or Hanlon All Weather or Dorsey Wright, that information would show here, and it would show how much is in that, how much you have in each of those models. Similarly here, you'll have, your models by your assets by custodian. So this one is a manually managed product just because it's in a demo environment. But if it was say purging, it would say purging and then how much you had in purging and the amount, the percentage. So this is a good snapshot, and you can also filter by date. So if you want to go back in time, you could say, hey, I want to go back to 7/1. Now, if I do that here, this should blank out because there is nothing for this account. This account was opened, I believe, on Friday. So everything blanks out. But if you have accounts that go back, say in February, you wanted to do the same thing, see what your AUM was on, March 1st, you could just put in here March 1st and it will populate these tiles accordingly. The next section we're going to go over is what, it defaults to the dashboard. Then there's another section called all applications. So this all applications is the meat of the Orion application. So we have some different areas here that we're going to cover. We have the advisor portal. This advisor portal is where you actually go to run the proposal, and also you will have a direct mirror image of all these tiles in that advisor portal. The client portal is where you can log into the client portal and actually see the what your client will be seeing, the client experience. I'm going to skip over this models for the item. It's just showing the different models that we currently offer. But these I think will be more, beneficial. Orion planning is where you could do, financial planning for your client. And this will take you to a portal that will open up the Orion planning platform where you can go through it for financial planning. Portfolio audit gives you a detailed view of your accounts. So if I click this portfolio audit, it gives you some good information right here. So again, we only have one household here, but it will show you the net number of households that were created in the last 7 days. It will also show you any contributions that were done in the last business day, distributions last business day. There's a transaction audit section that gives you other information as well. And you can also start filtering down by household. So I'm going to click here. I can look up, by household. So I want to look up, in this case, we have this household, the Simpsons. But what you could do if you had a number of households and you just want to look for something real quick, this white bar at the top is your filtering system. I like to think of this system as one big Excel document, this area, because once you load it, you can slice it and dice it and filter it the way you want. So in this case, there's nothing really for me to do here, but if I wanted to, I could say, hey, let me see Homer. It would filter down if there was, 100 records here, it would just show me anything with Homer in it. You could also go down to the registration level. The registration level is what we have at the custodian. So if you had, you know, Homer Simpson's, and you'll see it here, Homer and Marge Simpson's individual account. This is test data, should be joint, but you get the gist. It shows you what the registration type is at the custodian. So it gives you that account value, it gives you the name, the account type, and date of birth, social, which they also mask out everything except for the last 4 digits. If you wanted to see other columns, and this applies through any of these views here, the household registration accounts, so on and so forth, you click this, and it shows you the columns that are currently being displayed. But if you want to go into see what other columns you have available, you just click disable columns, and you get some more columns that you can actually bring into play. And also another cool trick, and I think this is one of the coolest things they have here in this module, is that if you want to move a column, and pop it to wherever you want it to go. So in this case, I moved the household ID up to the second part. Now, you can also do it within the application itself. Let's see here, did it save it for me? Should have, oh yeah, here it is. What I could do is I could also slide it again and do this same thing that most people are used to. Oops. I think this way is a little harder to do because sometimes it just doesn't stick. Say, so I would prefer, it should stick, but I think this is the easiest way, just coming over here to these columns and just moving things around the way you want. And as I said, so you have the household level, the registration level, then you can also go down to what they call the account level. Now, this account level um, is actually it has two functions, and I will say what I mean by two functions. It actually will show sleeve level. So account and sleeve are the same thing in this platform. So in this case, this account only has one sleeve at the moment, and it's this Homer. It's a test account with the account number. It's a managed account that the custodian is manually managed, and it has a value. Now, if this was an account that, say, a brokerage account like at Purging, where the client had a Dorsey Wright sleeve and a Hanlon managed sleeve, those two sleeves would show here. And it would show the account number, the custodial account number, say 4Z7 ... and at the end there will be a suffix. That suffix would be synonymous with the model that it's going into. So as you get into the platform and you start browsing these screens and you come to the account section, you'll get a good idea of what I'm talking about. But if you have any questions about that once you start navigating the system, please reach out to your sales team. Please reach out to our sales team, and they will steer you in the right direction and give you some more tips and pointers on navigation and explaining what's going on in the system. So the next thing here is assets. So now you have an asset screen here that you can show, what assets are in the account. Now this screen will pop up. You can look at it from a household perspective. The portfolio group perspective is more of a trading function that the platform provides. Registration, like I said, and account. So I'm going to look it up by the account, and I'm going to say here, let's see, test. Test Homer Simpson. And it's another thing that's interesting. Once you start typing in something, it automatically will start filtering out. So if there was 10 things with test in it, you would see all of those. And as you continue to type, it kind of whittles the list down. So I'm gonna hit OK. And what's going to happen is I'm going to see, boom, the assets that I have here are a cash asset. Excuse me. It's associated with this account, has this ticker, which if it's a real world ticker, it would have Apple, Google, whatever. And it will show you the shares, the value, and the price, and the category, and the asset class. So you get all that information for the asset. The next step, if you want to keep going down, is that you would have um, transactions. Now you can do the same sort of thing. You just filter by account and put in a date range. So I know there's not that many transactions here, so I'm just going to go back and do that went too far back, but let's see what pops up. Do this transaction too far back. Give me 1 second here. Go back here, cancel transactions. All right. So I'm gonna do this 7. Do this. Yeah, let's do this 2. And I'm gonna do 4. Hit it. And it does its thing here, and should bring up. I think I have 2 transactions in here for this account. Yep. So you have 2 transactions in here for this account, and you can see those transactions. It tells you when the transaction, the date of the transaction, what the transaction is, the product, the ticker, the amount, so on and so forth. And also tells you the account that it's associated with. So these are all these tabs described. Now, one of the other things that's pretty interesting about this as well, so say you wanted to start at the household level, and we want to do Homer Simpson. So this is our account. You can also view the household, or you can look at all these different levels and stay within the household. So, or stay within this household for this client. So if I right click on this household and I get the registration, it will bring up the registration for Homer Simpson and Marge. It will also bring up all their accounts and all their assets and their transactions. Versus if you go here and click, it clears it out and you have to start typing everything again. So as you can see, if I click away, well, this is the only account in here. But what I was saying is, if we had 100 accounts, what would happen? It would list all 100 accounts. But if you do the right clicking method, it will stay within that one account and you don't have to research. But just since we have test data, it just will only default to the one account. All right, so let's go back to, and then whenever you want to go back to your dashboard screens, the way to reset and everything is just to click the logo. So here you go, you want to click the Hanlon logo. It's going to take us right back to our where we started, the dashboards. And here's where we started in the beginning. Then you can click the all applications again. And now you have access to these applications again. Let's see here, what do we cover next? All right, so once you once you get your bearings and you know what you want to look at, you may want to say, hey, I want to go and look at, look and see, check out this advisor portal. Now, like I said, this advisor portal, what we're going to use the advisor portal for is mostly to run a proposal for a client. This is where that action will happen. So I'm going to click the advisor portal. And what it's going to do is going to come out here and it's going to log you into a different area. And what you'll see is, as I mentioned before, it's a mirror image of the screen we're in just before. So if I click back here, yes. So if I click back and forth, you'll see this is the screen we're just in with all the applications going down the side. And we have all of our, our tiles here showing us our business and how our book looks. Clicking in the advisor portal, it shows the same thing. So this is another area that can be used if you just want to run your business from here as well. Um, so here we have the same tiles that we had before, same information showing. If you want to, same information, you could access a client account from here as well. So it's just a little different experience. So there's these three little dots. They look like three little people. So what you can do is you click that and the same information that we had on the other screen, households, registration, and accounts, and there's a prospect here, and that's mostly for proposal purposes. But then you have your household, registrations, and accounts. You can do the same thing. I can click here. It will bring me up here and it shows me, okay, I have for Margin Homer Simpson, has got the value, um, their household, your name, their address, how their statements are going to be received. And when they say statements, we're referring to our quarterly reports. And website only means this is where it's going to go directly to their portal. Now we can click this, you can click the hyperlink, and what it's going to do is it's going to open up another screen. And this gives you more information on the client. So here, there's a variety of tabs across the top, but we're going to stay on this summary page for right now. So this portfolio summary shows you a summary of this household. Now, since there's only one account in this household, it shows that the household's worth 150,000. It also gives you some performance numbers, the net change, and this is just because it's a test data, but it also gives you the same information that you had before on the other screen. It'll tell you the asset category, allocation, the asset classes. You get some account summary of information that the beginning balance, any contributions, distributions, that sort of thing. I'm going to scroll down here, and this is where it's a good area. So you can take this portfolio detail, and it will show you, what's made up of in the account. So in this case, this account, if there was other things here, equity, our bonds, and so on and so forth, you just click this, and it will show what's in this household, what this household is holding. Now you may say, hey, I don't want to look at the household all the time. Okay, so you click this button here, and you have the option of drilling down to the registration level. Now the registration level is where you want to see it's what would be seen at the custodian. So the custodian level. So it will give you that 100, it will give you a total up of the account, meaning If we went down one more level to the account level, this is where you start getting into the sleeving. So you may have this case, this account only has one sleeve per se, let's call it that. But if you had 3 or 4 sleeves here, under here, it would all be rolled up and totaled into this one registration account, which is the custodial account, so to speak. So, but in this case, everything's one to one. But as I noticed, I can click this. See if it yeah, so it did change. So now we're looking at it from the individual account, the custodial account. And if I clicked here, now we're looking at it from these quote unquote sleeve. But in this case, everything is the same. Um, so that is, and here's another good functionality. They have the ability for you to, again, put a date range in here. So you can put in whatever date range you want, and this information will be reflected, mostly for performance purposes. But it will also update any of these um, fields as well. So it'll tell you the beginning value from point A to point B if you just update these dates. Alrighty. So this is where you will run a proposal, but like we right now, and I just want to put this note out there. Right now, we're still in the process of, you know, currently our sales team runs the proposals for the advisors, and ultimately we want to get you as the advisors the ability to run the proposals. But today we're going to leave that in the hands of sales so they can get more familiar with the process, so they can anticipate and answer any questions you may have once you start running the proposal. But in here, this is where you would run it. You would come in here and you would select quick action. It's create a proposal. So now we've covered the proposal portal, advisor portal. I'm going to go back and show you what the client portal looks like. Now, this is what your client will see. So you have the option of coming in here, selecting client portal. Now, when you come in and select the client portal, there's two options. There's household ID or name. I think the easiest once you're getting started, because most people know their clients by name, is just type in the name. So you type in Mars Simpson, you type that in, click it, it does its stuff, and then we click launch. Now, when you launch it, it'll open up a different tab or window, depending on what kind of browser you're using. And keep in mind, this is all demo stuff, and I haven't set this up, but your client will have the ability to set up two-factor authentication. It's required. You have to put in both your email and a phone number, and click save. But for this, since I'm in here, I'm just going to click bypass this. And this will, excuse me, show you a similar view that we saw on the other screen for the advisor. So same information, you have 150,000 and there's some, beginning market changes. There is the asset category allocation, asset class. And if you have, so you can do some performance, you can also see positions. If you have more accounts, you click this and it will list all the accounts. And it's a good thing here, it blurts out the last, I think it leaves just the last 4 digits of the account number, but so you can identify them. But they will list all the accounts that you have for this household. There are 2 other sections. There's a report section where you can run a report. The client can run a report. There's a couple of reports they can run. This account won't have any data, but you can choose these reports. You click on them. Let's click here. It'll give you some options. So you'll run a portfolio position report. You can run at the household level. You can run at the account level. If you run at the account level, again, it will give you the option to select the account you want to do it for. Give you what date you want to run it as of. Got 2 options, PDF and Excel, and you hit generate. Last but not least in the advisor portal is the document vault. And this is where the clients can save, documents. So the client can, actually drag and drop documents for the advisor to see. This is also where we will have, you know, custodial documents as well. So for example, for Pershing, you can be able to see your statements, your confirms, your tax documents all in this module. And also the quarterly reports will be saved here as well, our quarterly reports. So once your clients sign up, you can come in here and see what they see. And you got two options if you want to get out of here. If you ever want to get out, you can either just close this, X out, or you log off, just just like this, and it will take you back to your log on screen. So, um, let me see if there's any questions so far. Go. I see one question coming in. And also I want to mention too that, like I said before, just reach out to our sales team, and they will be able to work with you on, training, navigation. Um, they'll be able to set up a one-on-one appointment with you so you can feel more free and to ask your questions that you may not want to ask in a group setting. Just look at some more of these questions. Um, so when you say clients have to sign up before statements can be viewed by the advisor, are we referring to the custodial statements? If you are referring to the custodial statements, then no, the client does not have to sign up. Those statements are just sent directly from via an API from Pershing. So they come over from the Pershing system and will be automatically reflected within the portal. Let's see here. Now, there are other types of reports that can be ran, and Ryan has two versions of this. So they have reports and queries. And I will touch on the queries first. So, and bear with me, there's a lot of queries in here that, I don't know all the ins and outs of them. But if there's one that you see in this list that you have questions on, please again, either ask the question here and I can look into it later, or I can, if you want to take time when we get off the call, look at it, and give your question to our sales team, and they can do the research with me, and we can find out an answer. But there are a lot of different queries in this application that will query the data that's currently in advisor in the system. So what you have to do once you get in this query, what it defaults is your favorites list. Um, you would want to select all queries, and when you select all queries, it will give you a number of queries that you can select and run. So if you have something in mind that you want to see, say, like a account level AUM. As I start to type, I see, oh, here's the query that I want. Now again, there's the test data, so there's not going to be a lot in here, but what you can do is once you find the query you can do two things. You can run it, and you can also if it's something that you think you're going to want to use in the future, I would automatically save it to my favorites by clicking here. And now you can run this query, you can run it on demand and say, okay, I'm going to run it right now, or you can schedule it. Say I want this query to run every Wednesday at 9 a.m. What'll happen is the query will run in the background and you will get a notification. It'll pop up here and say, oh, your query for AUM account level was ran Wednesday at 9 a.m. It's ready to be viewed. So you don't have to always come in here and run it. just look here at some more questions. And also, this is, I don't, in the notification that went out today, it said that, this is the first session. There will be a session tomorrow, I believe at 11 a.m. And there will also be a session on Wednesday. I think that session, and don't quote me on this right now, I can double check, but should be at 1 p.m. on Wednesday.
That's correct, Don.
Thank you, sir. Um, Also, one of the things that was lacking in the old platform that we had was ability to see, unrealized gains and losses and realized gains and losses. This platform does an excellent job of displaying that information. And let me just show you where one would obtain it. Give me 1 second here. Back. So again, I'm gonna get out of here and I'm gonna go back to my home screen. And I'm going to let this load up. And I'm going to search for an account. So again, I'm going to click this guy and I'm going to see it populate. It populates automatically. And that's another cool thing about it. It actually kind of remembers what you did last. So you can, I think this will hold about 3 or 4 items in this recently reviewed, and it'll show you the ones you recently reviewed. So this will click here and have a tab here that shows gains and losses, along with cost basis information. Again, this is the new account, so it doesn't have any information, but this is where you would come to see it. You can see your unrealized, realized, and the total. Gives you this breakdown. Here, if you had positions, I think it does have one position, but there's no cost basis here. So you can see the cost basis, and it will also give you some other information that would be valuable as well. And what I would encourage, like I said, I've been using this platform for, getting it up and running for, good 4 or 5 months now, and I just liked, number one, the speed and the ease and just the way it looks and feels. And once you just have to get inside and just start playing around with it and start utilizing the platform, because it's very intuitive. You think, oh, it should be here. Oh yeah, more than likely it is here. Or I want to click this and I want to see, you know, I want to look for an account. All right, I have this information here. I can just go here and say, let's look for something. And you can put it up here and look for an account. Or you can, like I said, you can come here and just view the account. So there's lots of different options and different ways to get to the same place, but you have to get in here and start spending time. B, find out what's best for you, and then C, create your workflow to tailor it to how you do your business. So I would encourage everyone, to start log in, set up your passwords, log in and just start using the system, because with anything, like I said, I've been using it for a while and I still come up with different questions after I've been using it for a while, or I find better ways to do certain things. So please feel free to reach out to, the sales team if you have any questions concerning that. Navigation, you want that one-on-one, you know, training, definitely reach out to them and they will set something up for you. And, you know, hopefully this will bring you help. Hopefully this is a win-win for all of us, and I'm pretty sure it will be. You know, we have given you this platform, and you can start giving us more business so that we all can grow together.
Don, you did a wonderful job. I really appreciate it. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Sean Hanlon, and I just want to applaud Don on his on the work he's done here, and our entire team in getting us to this day. This is a new day for Hanlon. We're excited about the platform. The platform intuitively is easy to use, and the beauty about it is we really can access data in quick, easy ways. So I want to make a note that our ultimate view with this platform is we expect all advisors to be able to go in and run income plans, run client portfolio reviews, and most importantly, run proposals. And that would be 7/24, right? 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. That's our goal, is to put all that at your fingertips on your schedule. Now, until we do that, and that is not available today, it's actually available. We could turn it on, but we don't want to turn it on just yet. We want to spend some time with the platform, get used to it, look for any bugs. There shouldn't be any, of course. Orion's got 2,500 firms and $2 trillion on their platform, so we feel good about that. But we want to spend time with it and really getting it streamlined, getting it efficient to make your experience, or important advisors, that much better once we do turn on the ability for you to run proposals, uh, income plans, and client portfolio reviews. So I just wanted to stress that to you in case you weren't sure about it. As Don mentioned, we're going to be having another session tomorrow at 11 a.m., another one Wednesday at 1 p.m. Of course, we will send out emails. You don't have to remember that right now. You'll see an email again reminding you. And in the meantime, it's business as usual at Hanlon. So please keep those proposal requests coming. Keep the new business, new account opening flowing. We're just so excited about the improvements that we've made with the changes. We've worked very, very hard on this. Don mentioned he's been working on this with Orion, for 4, 5, 6 months. We've been working on this for over 12 months and probably closer to 18 months in terms of this day, getting to this day. So we're your partners. We don't want you to hesitate to let us know of any of your questions. We love to hear from you. Our sales team does a magnificent job of getting back to you and servicing you, led by our Chief Revenue Officer, Paul Binion, who's doing a marvelous job for us, and the rest of the team on sales. So really engage with us, and we're here to make your business better. I think you all know, or you should know, that I'm still a retail advisor. I've been one. I started in the business in '83, and I still have clients from the '80s. So I am so excited about my own personal book and using this new system to help me streamline my business and to gather more assets. So it's an exciting day, exciting times ahead. We're going to continue to keep providing you guys with the best that we have in the industry of tools. And there's so many more things that we're going to be doing for you to help you build business, to help you retain business, et cetera, centered around the platform that you've seen today. So bear with us a little bit in the next week or two, et cetera, as we all get very familiar with the platform. But rest assured, the team was working over the weekend. This team's been working nonstop, and we'll continue to work nonstop. And I like the fact that the day we launched the platform, here we were right in front of you, ready to demo the platform, answer your questions, et cetera. And we're going to keep doing that for the next 2 days. And if we need it more, we'll do it. We'll continue to do it. So that's the type of company we are. That's the type of people we are. We like to be front and center stage, transparent, available at all times to help you with your business. So just wanted to share those remarks. I think Don's tutorial for today is done. I see Don has stopped sharing his screen, but please send in your questions, talk to your sales folks at Hanlon, and we're excited about this. And we look forward to hearing from you and helping you improve your business.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you all. Have a great evening.